Now, according to ABARE, Australian agriculture is in fact facing its most prosperous outlook for 30 years. It's an encouraging message, but what's also very reassuring is knowing that there's ongoing grains R&D to underpin that promising outlook, especially in the mung bean industry, as Jane Drinkwater found out.
Over the last few years, mung beans have graduated from an opportunity crop to an integral part of northern growers' farming systems.
We think they're a good rotational tool. Makes a good break from crops like sorghum to split the crops up. They're good they leave the country quite soft after you've grown them, and if you get the quality, you can make some good money off them.
All good reasons for growing them, and rewarding comments for the Grains Research and Development Corporation supported National Mung Bean Improvement Program and its breeders from Queensland's Didi.
They're a short duration crop, they're quite water use efficient, they fix their own nitrogen from the atmosphere, and they fit really well into northern farming systems. They provide a really good disease break and weed control options for farmers.
Mung beans form a staple vegetable in many overseas diets, and since the Indian subcontinent started buying Australian product en masse, things have looked rosy for Australian growers.
Previously, we'd sell 1 or 2 containers at a time to smaller countries. There's a lot of folks in India, so we're able to sell, up to 20 containers in a single sale, and growers correspondingly are growing much bigger areas, so that growth has been perfectly matched by the increased demand.
When that higher demand coincided with the release of 2 improved varieties, Crystal and Saturn II, in 2008, production grew to 65,000 tonnes a year by 2011, up some 40% compared to the mid-2000s.
Crystals and the Saturn IIs are a lot taller crop, a lot easier to manage. They seem to be just better all round than what we used to have.
They got a big jump in yield, a 20% advantage in yield, which is a real quantum leap in plant breeding terms, and also a really high quality grain which makes the product easy to market, and has really put Australia on the map internationally.
With improved disease resistance, higher yields and increased tolerance to waterlogging, Crystal now accounts for an amazing 90% of Australia's mung bean crop. A better quality, consistent supply destined for a demanding export market spells higher profits.
We've seen some outstanding prices up to perhaps 2.5 times what we would consider traditional prices. The new variety has given us way better yields and better grade outs, and it's really pushed the industry forward amazingly.
The Australian Mung Bean Association, GRDC and Didi recently sent a group of breeders, growers, exporters and consultants to Taiwan to further explore Australia's export opportunities.
The industry got a good look at how products are consumed and grown and used, particularly with the sprouting side of things in Taiwan, but also the breeding program come home with some fantastic genetic advancements and techniques as well.
These advancements were thanks to an international exchange of mung bean germplasm, the first for Australia in 20 years.
This cross-cultural exchange will inject new genetic diversity into Australia's mung bean breeding program.
And given the amount of genetic material potentially available, the future looks even brighter.
The breeding team were privileged enough to be able to go to the World Vegetable Centre, the AVRDC, which is the mecca of germplasm in the world, and we're able to select another 400 potential lines to come to Australia to be entered into the breeding program.
That's going to be tremendous in getting new varieties 5 and 10 years down the track.
In return for the germplasm, Australian breeders will provide feedback to AVRDC on the genetic material's performance and disease resistance, information which will then be available globally via AVRDC's internet database. The collaboration also resulted in a new technique to fast-track mung bean crossing in cooler, drier climates by placing humidifiers inside sealed plant breeding areas to simulate the hot, humid conditions of the tropics.
So as soon as we put the humidifier and enclose the area, the efficiency of our cross-pollinations, our success rate rose from 25% to 80%, which is a really incredible saving in the labour and the time that we put into the crossing program.
Already a significant success with a benefit to cost ratio of 18:1, the National Mung Bean Improvement Program has been given added momentum by the recent overseas research mission.
That small investment for them to go over and learn that is probably going to advance the breeding programs by 2 to 3 years on each variety, so pretty significant gains.
With new germplasm and faster breeding, new superior varieties providing an extra 10% yield over crystal are in development.
The next variety, which will be released in mid-2013, combines improved tan spot and powdery mildew resistance. That's a large seeded bean, which is the bulk of the Australian market. And then soon after that, we have a small seeded bean with really good resistance to halo blight, which will be a big leap forwards for Australian growers.
It's a real success story with an incredible return on investment dollars.
The collaboration we've got with GRDC and DEDI is absolutely pivotal in the success of the industry so far and our anticipated further success.
It certainly ties together the complete sort of paddock to plate scenario when you've got a broad cross section of industry all involved in the one aim, one ambition.
Looking good, planted at the end of December.
For growers like Justin Commons, it's a significant opportunity.
They're doing good for us, so we'll keep growing them.
And his advice to growers thinking of planting mung beans?
Make sure they have a good agronomist that knows what they're talking about when it comes to mung beans. If they say spray them, because they don't get the term mongrel beans for nothing. You've got to look after them. You've got to put the inputs in to get the returns back, and plant them at the right time with reasonably good moisture underneath them. Don't go plant them at the wrong time or they'll fail.
When you consider other countries have been growing mung beans for thousands of years, Australia's phenomenal success as new kid on the block is doubly sweet.
For us to come from a meagre existence 30 years ago to certainly becoming a forefront major mung bean breeding program and starting to get the eyes of the market overseas for our consistency and quality, we've come a long way, and there's some exciting times yet to come.
And if mung beans are particularly your thing, you'll find an article in this month's Groundcover newspaper, so remember to have a look at that.